Forget the towering skyscrapers built by humans. Right before your eyes, nature's master builders are quietly crafting masterpieces that leave even the greatest architects speechless. Join World Mystery Wonders on a new journey of discovery, one that will shatter the limits of perception and take you into a world where tiny creatures with only delicate wings create structures that defy the very laws of physics. True works of art that surpass human imagination. Are you ready to be amazed? Let's begin by a weaver, the most persistent. Weavers in the world of birds. If there's a true symbol of patience and masterful craftsmanship, it must be the Baya weaver. These small birds have turned nest building into an extraordinary performance, where each nest is a stunning masterpiece of weaving. The male is solely responsible for every step, from selecting the perfect site to tying the very first knot. Using long, flexible strands of grass, he weaves intricate nests shaped like hanging water droplets suspended delicately from high branches. Especially remarkable is the clever design, a narrow, elongated entrance tunnel leading down to a cozy main chamber where the female will lay eggs and raise her young. This structure not only shields against rain and sun, but also serves as a formidable defense against predators. The construction process takes several days, with each knot and each loop requiring absolute precision. Once the nest is complete, the female will inspect it, and if it fails her standards, the nest is abandoned, forcing the male to dismantle it and start all over again. With tireless determination, the Baya weaver proves that in the natural world, true artistry always demands unwavering perseverance. Bowerbird. Vogelkop Bowerbird, the stage artist of the rainforest. If the human world has installation artists, then in the natural world, the Vogelkop Bowerbird is the true master, a bird that has elevated courtship into a full-fledged art exhibition. Surprisingly, their homes, called bowers, are not meant for living. Instead, they are elaborate performance stages built by the male solely to court and impress a potential mate. The male spends weeks, even months, meticulously collecting twigs, colorful fruits, plastic scraps, and anything shiny he can find, all carefully arranged by color, tone, and size, creating what looks like an open-air art gallery. The area around the bower is designed like a miniature exhibition hall where every detail showcases the male's aesthetic taste and refinement. When a female arrives to inspect the display, the male performs flamboyant dances next to his masterpiece. She doesn't judge solely by appearance but by the intricacy, creativity, and care put into the bower. If impressed, she stays. If not, the artist must modify his gallery or start anew. A breathtaking performance where instinct, art, and love are woven together in a magical harmony. Montezuma or a pendula. Montezuma or a pendula, the swaying nests in the sky. If you think the previous birds were impressive, wait until you step into the rainforests of Central America to witness the breathtaking architectural marvel of the Montezuma or a pendula. Their nests are not just places to live, they are works of art suspended in the sky. Imagine a basket nearly 2 meters long, woven from soft plant fibers, gently swaying at the tips of towering tree branches. The male is the chief architect, responsible for building multiple nests at once to attract potential mates. The location, always at the very end of the slenderest branches, places predators out of reach. When the wind blows, the nests sway like cradles, helping the chicks develop a sense of balance from the moment they hatch. It's a nest that's both secure and soothing, like a treetop attic room floating in nature. With this clever strategy, the Montezuma or a pendula proves that their nests aren't just beautiful, they're fortresses that dance with the wind. Sociable weaver. Sociable weaver, the communal apartment complex of the savannah. Amid the sun-scorched grasslands of southern Africa stands a natural architectural marvel that leaves anyone who sees it in awe, the nest of the sociable weaver. Unlike the typical solitary bird nest, theirs is a massive, multi-story apartment complex hanging from large trees or utility poles across the savannah. Woven from dry grass, twigs, and other plant materials, each communal nest can house over 100 pairs of birds and can endure for decades. Every bird couple has its own private chamber, much like self-contained apartments. Remarkably, the internal design is highly intelligent. The upper layers retain warmth during the cold nights, while the lower sections stay cool during the scorching daytime heat. From afar, a sociable weaver nest looks like an enormous haystack clinging to a tree, but inside it is a miniature world, a place where every family enjoys a private, safe, and comfortable living space. Not only do sociable weavers benefit, but unexpected guests like sparrows, woodpeckers, and even snakes often seek shelter inside. Their nest stands as a living example of community architecture in the animal kingdom, a place that balances privacy, safety, and ingenious creativity. Ovenbird. Ovenbird, the potter of the bird world. If there were an award for the most creative bird nest on Earth, the ovenbird's nest would be a top contender. Unlike the typical hanging or floating nests, this South American species chooses a completely different approach, building a nest that resembles a miniature clay oven. Their nests are made entirely from mud mixed with dry grass, molded carefully with their beaks and feet into a domed ball complete with an entrance and an internal incubation chamber. Once dried, the structure hardens like fired clay, incredibly durable and perfectly weather-resistant. It's because of this kiln-like appearance that they are called ovenbirds. Their nests are usually perched on tree branches or wooden posts, standing tall and sturdy against the elements. What makes them even more remarkable is that no two nests are alike. Each one is a unique, handcrafted masterpiece reflecting the individual style and character of the parent birds. Here, craftsmanship and survival instinct meet, resulting in one of nature's most extraordinary architectural achievements. Ruby-throated hummingbird. Ruby-throated hummingbird, a tiny marvel of nature. Don't let the tiny size of the hummingbird fool you. The nests of the ruby-throated hummingbird may be no bigger than a bottle cap, yet they are engineering marvels that would make any architect bow in admiration. With a body barely heavier than a coin, the female tirelessly builds a miniature nest that is perfect down to the smallest detail. Shaped like a tiny cup, the nest is woven from soft moss, plant fibers, and most importantly, spider silk, nature's own glue, giving the nest remarkable elasticity. Thanks to this design, the nest can expand day by day as the chicks inside grow. Outside, it is camouflaged with moss, lichen, and bits of bark, blending seamlessly into the surrounding branches, warm, soft, and almost invisible to predators. While the hummingbird darts through the air like a living arrow, its nest remains serene, delicate, and utterly secure, a smart little home with the incredible ability to both grow and vanish into nature. The stalwart guardian of the rainforest. Amid the dense tropical forests of Southeast Asia, there lives a giant bird that has turned nest building into a breathtaking ritual of survival, the great hornbill. Instead of weaving nests or digging burrows, the female chooses a tall, hollow tree cavity as her sanctuary. But the real wonder begins only after the choice is made. Once inside, the female, with the help of the male, seals the entrance with a wall made of mud and tree resin, leaving only a tiny slit just big enough for the male to pass food through. Throughout the entire incubation and chick-rearing period, the female remains completely sealed inside, a harsh but brilliant strategy to protect herself, her eggs, and her chicks from predators. Meanwhile, the male works tirelessly outside, serving as the soul. The chicks are large and strong enough. Does the female break through the mud wall, and the reunited family continues their journey together? It is a deeply moving story of sacrifice, patience, and primal instinct, where every clump of mud carries the breath of love, protection, and the will to sustain life. Southern Masked Weaver. Southern Masked Weaver, the climate architect. Amid the scorching heat of the African savanna, a small bird has proven that nature too produces master architects who design homes perfectly attuned to the climate. This is the Southern Masked Weaver, a true genius of smart and adaptive nest building. Not only does the male weave nests from long, flexible strands of grass, but he also carefully considers wind direction, sunlight, and ventilation before he even begins. The nest entrance always faces downward to shield against rain and to keep the interior cool. Each nest takes the form of a compact sphere with a thick roof, creating natural insulation to protect chicks from the sweltering daytime heat and the chilly nights. Every knot is tied using only his beak and feet, a performance of craftsmanship at its finest. The female acts as the inspector, If she disapproves of the nest, she will immediately leave, forcing the male to dismantle it and start anew. With each breeding season, they begin from scratch, not because the old nests are damaged, but because instinct drives them to seek perfection. A tiny bird with a grand sense of architectural mastery. Flamingo mud fortresses. Amid the desolate salt lakes where the sunlight shimmers on the water's surface and the wind blows fiercely, flamingos quietly build their extraordinary fortresses out of mud. Unlike many other birds that choose branches or shrubs, flamingos use soft mud as the primary material to construct tall cone-shaped nests. The parents take turns gathering bits of mud, carefully layering them to create a mound about 30 to 50 centimeters high, just tall enough to keep their precious eggs safe above rising waters or sudden rains. At the peak of each tiny fortress, a single egg is laid, becoming the heart of a delicate survival strategy. These mud nests not only protect the eggs from flooding and predators but also help newly hatched chicks adapt to the harsh environment from their very first moments. The sight of thousands of flamingo nests clustered together across the lake resembles a vibrant city of mud rising from the wilderness. It's a breathtaking testament that even in the harshest conditions, nature still finds a way to craft incredible wonders, all through persistence and an unstoppable instinct to survive. European Bee-eater. European bee-eater, the master tunnel digger. In the world of birds, the European bee-eater might just be the finest tunnel artist of them all. Instead of building nests in trees or shrubs like most birds, this vibrant species chooses to dig deep into the earth to create its home. At the start of summer, bee-eater couples seek out soft river banks, sandy slopes, or hillside embankments to begin their unique construction project. Using their sharp beaks like natural chisels, they patiently carve out long tunnels, usually between 1 to 2 meters in length, leading to a small, secure chamber at the very end. This cozy room becomes a warm cradle for their precious eggs. What's truly remarkable is that during the breeding season, the male tirelessly hunts, primarily catching bees, wasps, and other flying insects as offerings for the female, a ritual of devotion and care. Before presenting them, he skillfully removes the stingers with precise strikes. The nest of the European bee-eater is not just a shelter, it is a hidden underground fortress, safe, warm, and filled with the spirit of family. Penduline tits. Penduline tits, the master weavers of nature. Nicknamed the masters of craftsmanship, the penduline tits have left scientists in awe with their perfectly crafted pouch-shaped nests. Small but incredibly skilled, these birds weave delicate hanging nests at the tips of branches, made from feathers, plant fibers, and spider silk. Remarkably, their nests feature a false entrance, a clever decoy designed to fool predators. The real entrance is cleverly disguised with a sealed layer that blends seamlessly into the rest of the nest, often causing curious intruders to give up before finding their way in. The nest is not just a shelter but a masterpiece of meticulous design and defensive intelligence. The male usually starts building the nest alone to attract the mate, and once paired, the female joins in to help complete it. Soft feathers are artfully intertwined into the structure, turning the tiny nest into a cozy, secure home. In the bird world, penduline tits are like high-end handbag designers, where each nest is a unique couture creation, crafted with care, precision, and artistry. Purple Moorhen. Purple Moorhen, the king of the marshlands. In the dense marshes and vivid green waters, the purple moorhen, also known as the purple swamphen, strides with the grace of a true king. With iridescent purple-blue plumage shining under the sun, a vivid red beak extending into a striking frontal shield, the purple moorhen carries an unmistakable and proud presence. Their nests are either perched high nor hidden deep. Instead, they rest serenely atop thick beds of reeds or floating vegetation, woven from grasses and leaves in a traditional bowl shape. Though appearing fragile, these nests are remarkably resilient, enduring the unpredictable shifts of the marsh environment. What makes their nests truly special is the seamless blend of simplicity and efficiency. Both parents take turns guarding and nurturing their chicks, young ones who are ready to leave the nest just a few days after hatching. With their long legs and slender toes, purple moorhens move effortlessly across water surfaces blanketed with vegetation, as if walking on solid ground. Without the need for towering fortresses, the purple moorhen's nest remains a symbol of balance, craftsmanship, adaptability, and quiet resilience, a cradle for a new generation as strong and enduring as the endless marshlands they call home. Bald eagle. Bald eagle, the sky fortress of America's icon. Across the ancient forests and wild landscapes of North America, the bald eagle, the proud symbol of the United States, builds towering sky fortresses that command awe and respect. Renowned not just for their soaring flight and hunting prowess, bald eagles are famous for constructing some of the largest nests in the bird world. Perched atop the highest trees, a pair of eagles may spend months crafting their first nest, weaving together massive branches and lining the interior with grass, moss, and feathers for warmth and comfort. Remarkably, with each breeding season, they add new layers to their old nest, making it increasingly massive and resilient. Some nests grow to nearly 3 m wide, 6 m deep, and weigh over 2 tons. The bald eagle's nest is more than a place to hatch eggs, it's a lifelong monument to commitment, as the male and female tirelessly work together to raise their young. Seen from afar, their nest resembles a floating castle, majestic yet nurturing, suspended high above the ground. It stands as a grand testament to strength, patience, and enduring love, perfectly mirroring the indomitable spirit the bald eagle symbolizes for America. Cactus ferruginous pygmy owl. Cactus ferruginous pygmy owl, the desert warrior hidden in thorns. Amid the thorny cactus fields of the western United States and northern Mexico, the tiny Cactus ferruginous pygmy owl has crafted a nest unlike any other, hidden inside the towering arms of the saguaro cactus. Yes, you heard right, they live within the sharp, spiny columns that most creatures avoid at all costs. These cacti have soft wooden cores, allowing the owl to carve out a hollow using its beak, creating a cool, quiet, and virtually impenetrable refuge. The spines outside not only deter predators but also regulate the internal temperature, shielding the nest from the scorching heat by day and preserving warmth at night. Despite measuring only 15 to 18 centimeters, this little owl is fiercely brave. On its territory, it will readily confront larger animals to defend its nest without hesitation. A small warrior in a coat of rusty brown feathers, concealed within the harsh desert landscape, its nest stands as a true symbol of intelligence, courage, and supreme adaptation. African Jacana. African Jacana, the floating architect and devoted father. While in most bird species the female incubates the eggs, the African Jacana flips this tradition entirely. Across the lakes and wetlands of Africa, it is the male who builds the nest, incubates the eggs, and cares for the chicks, while the female goes off to find other mates. Their nest is a simple yet remarkably effective floating raft, crafted from lily pads and aquatic vegetation, drifting gently on the water's surface. Though it may seem fragile at first glance, it is impressively stable. The male carefully checks the nest's balance to ensure it doesn't capsize under strong winds or heavy rains. When the chicks hatch, the father protects them by tucking them under his wings and carrying them around like a living mobile pouch. Thanks to their long toes, African jacanas can easily walk across floating vegetation, making their nest a floating villa, both safe and incredibly agile. Without the need for towering walls or solid foundations, the African jacana's nest proves that sometimes the most precious thing is a father who knows how to shelter and protect his young. Our journey through the extraordinary architectural wonders of birds has come to an end. But the miracles of nature are endless. If you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to leave a like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out on more incredible discoveries from around the planet. See you in the next videos.